Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Ralph Graves, and welcome to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. It is Wednesday morning, and we are back live in the studio, back live here from lovely Ballard Kenwood, PA. We're at WWDB AM, www.dbam.com, 860 on the AM dial. Also, we're on Facebook Live and YouTube channel. We're everywhere, and we're just glad to be back in the studio today. Hey guys, if you're listening, share this with somebody. Let somebody know. If you're listening on the radio, hey, tell somebody to tune in to the Ralph Graves Jr. Morning Show. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and start a watch party and share this broadcast. But we are so happy to be back in here today. So good morning, everyone. Good morning to all of my co-hosts this morning. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
Jason, good morning, brother.
Good morning, sir. How you making out?
Wonderful, wonderful. Jamie, good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Yeah, good to have you guys on. So how was everyone's weekend? Janae and I go last because it was crazy, but how was everyone's weekend? Jason, how was your weekend, man?
Kind of laid back. It's all these days, it's with everything happening, it's just kind of like, it's moving so fast, but this past weekend, just did some odds and ends stuff. So
yeah.
Nothing too crazy.
Okay. Did Philly open back up? I know Jersey opened back up yesterday.
No, not yet. No.
Not yet. Okay. All right. How was your weekend, Kair?
My weekend was good.
Yeah. What you do?
What did I do? I was thinking. Nothing. Saturday, we put some stuff on the grill. I was home.
Okay.
Friday, I can't remember. Oh, I had work.
Okay.
I worked, yeah.
All right. Well, very good. Very good. He did work Friday.
Yeah.
Jamie, how was your weekend, Jamie?
It was a great weekend. You know, nothing particularly special, but the weather was nice, and we cooked, we ate. You know, kids had a good time.
Okay, very good, very good. Seems like everybody had a great weekend.
Well, before like the weekend, that last Monday through Friday literally felt like a month. It was the longest week ever. I think it was just because I had to wake up 7 days in a row early. Yeah. Like I didn't have one wake up at 10 day.
Yeah,
everything
you need that, huh?
I look forward to it. Like I can't wait till Friday. But every day of last week, I had to wake up at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Well, we had a very eventful, first of all, guys, call a number, 888-329-3306. I don't want to go too fast, but there's a lot we're going to talk about today because it had a crazy weekend, guys. And I think you guys are going to chuckle when we talk about it. But the call-in number is 888-329-3306. You can follow me on Twitter. Follow me. We have a Twitter poll. What's the Twitter poll, ladies? I forgot.
Would you ever go canoeing?
Yes. Would you ever go canoeing?
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Right? Would you ever canoe? Because I went canoeing this weekend. A, you love it. B, I'd try it. C, no way. Would you ever get in a canoe? I'm going to tell you why that question is so important. It's because we did it this weekend, and it was crazy. Let me set the scene like this. So, a buddy of mine says, hey, Pastor, a few of us are going to go canoeing on June the 6th. Would you like to go? So, I'm Pastor Adventure. So I said, yeah, I'll go. No doubt, I'll go. And asked my wife, nope, can't go, I'm working. Asked my son, nope, can't go, I'm working. Asked my future son-in-law, asked my future son-in-law, nope, can't go, I'm working. Asked my oldest daughter, Daddy, I don't do water like that. I thought about taking my grandkids. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to take them. So I asked Janae.
Last.
But I asked you nonetheless.
Last.
But I asked you nonetheless.
I have another kid. She doesn't do much.
So I asked Janae.
She's probably free.
So she says, yes, I'm going to go. Then she said yes on Wednesday and Thursday. Friday comes around. She tells me she's not going to go. So I say, I'm going to go by myself. Well, Friday night comes. I'm just setting the scene. She calls me back. She said, okay, Dad, I found some shoes. I'm able to go. So anyway, we get down to where we went, right? I don't want to call out its name because it's a very beautiful company. We get down to where we go. It's what?
I said it's not their fault.
No, it's not their fault. It's not their fault. We struggled the way we struggled. But we get down. We get down there, and we get the canoe, and everything's cool, right? And we get in the river. We get in the river. It's called Badstow. That's where we get in. Badstow River. Was it 6 miles?
I think it was 6 mile thing.
Now, mind you,
6 miles?
we're novices.
8 miles.
We have no idea what we're doing. We have no
It
idea.
was like my first time seeing a canoe.
Yeah, her first time seeing it. It might have been my second time in one, but I was on, Jamie, check it. I was on a nice flat lake. Right? That's where that's my experience. I said, okay, it's not gonna be too bad. So I thought it was gonna be like that. So we get into the canoe, we get into the river. And Janae says instantly when she got there, she was saying to herself, this is not gonna work for me. But she still gets in. We get in. We're in Wharton State Forest, in the middle of nowhere. Jason, listen to me. No, middle of nowhere. Nowhere, bruh. The guide, I'm thinking the guide is going to canoe with us. No, he puts us in the water
And drives away.
and leaves and says, text me when you get to mile marker 11. That's what he says. We're novices. We're novices. They say, oh, the person with the little more experience should be in the back. Now, my little more experience might be 10 minutes longer than my daughter who's never seen one. So we get in,
And just start paddling.
and we start. Now, when I'm talking about the Badstow River, I know this is a long thing, but you guys got to get where I'm going because I'm talking about life. When we get into the Badstow River, it's not like the Delaware River. It's not like a nice river, right? It's nice and slow. It's flowing. It flows. It's nice and slow. But when I tell you we are in the woods and we are winding and it sticks everywhere. We had no idea what we were doing from the jump. And so by the end, I said, we're going to walk through this whole day in about an hour, how it went. Today's going to be talking about it. But I said, you know what? Out of it, I'm going to do a show called The Winding River of Life. Because even through all of our trials and tribulations, guess what never stopped flowing? The river.
The river.
Never stopped flowing.
We were going backwards, sideways, but we were going forward.
We had no idea. We bumps and bruises. We had no idea. So that's the topic for today. If you guys want to join in, the Winding River of Life. We're going to talk about those things and how it applies to life. I had some great topics down there. I sent my email to Ken yesterday. But guys, call in 888-329-3306. 888-329-3306 and become part of the program. Tell me how your weekend's going. Tell me how it all went for you. What you guys have going on. Is everything good? Everything cool? Our Twitter.
I'm happy you guys made it.
Jamie,
I'm so happy y'all made it, and the canoe didn't turn over.
Oh, it did.
Oh, no. Jamie, the canoe turned over. I didn't get to that part of the story yet. Your pastor drank a mouthful of creek water. That's all I'm saying. We didn't even get there yet. Oh, it turned over. It turned over. Yeah. It turned over.
Janae, did you have to save your daddy? Did you have to put him back in the boat?
I had to get in the boat first, but I didn't even know it was happening because I wasn't looking backwards. I was just facing front. But then the boat started to rock uncontrollably, and I was like, "What's going on?"
We're jumping ahead in the story. But
it was too late.
It did tip over. I had a mouthful of creek water. Listen. Anyway, point number one. I put point number one up. Point number one is that the river represents life itself, right? Life flows just like that river, okay? It flows. One thing remained constant, ladies and gentlemen, is that the river never stopped flowing. It never stopped. It never stopped. It never stopped flowing. I mean, through ups and downs and trials and tribulations. So that's kind of where we're going to start the show. That the river continues to flow. It was the canoe. If you know anything about canoes, describe it, Jay. It's like rocking back and forth. It was crazy. Like we couldn't stabilize.
I used my core a lot.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah, that's all I can. Like it was just like any quick movement to either side, it was going that way violently. Yeah. Here's the thing, right? This is what I no matter what was going on, and we want to talk about that the river was the constant. It was, they said in the beginning, just follow the flow. It was a downstream flow. And you'll get to your destination, right? Follow the flow and you get to your destination. And so that's how it started off. It was thank God it was in the morning. It was a beautiful day. They said, follow the flow. And so I don't know who I'm talking to today. Listen, life has a flow. Life has a rhythm. Life has a rhythm. Life has a flow. And a lot of times we fight going against that flow and that rhythm of life. Like, you're going to age. So learn to age gracefully. You're going to have ups and downs. It's not going to stop. And so my first encouragement throughout the course of this program is that life, like that river, flows. And it did not flow straight. It was winding. It had logs in it. There were places where it was 8 feet deep, places where it was 4 feet deep. Good morning, Maurice. It were places where we ran aground. We had all kinds of stuff going on. The adventure will continue when we come back. But you guys call in 888-329-3306. We are talking about the winding river of life. 888-329-3306. Jump in and we're going to talk about some of your experiences as well. My name is Ralph Grace Jr. Listen to the Ralph Grace Jr. Show. We'll be right back after these messages.
Good morning. My name is Jamie Jackson, and I'm one of the attorneys.
I don't know. Are we
Condor,
still?
Hernandez & Co., where we put people first. We're a full-service law firm specializing in personal injury, workers' compensation, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, real estate, and wills and trusts. If you ever need legal assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us. We can be contacted toll-free at 1-877-866-7535. Once again, that's 1-877-866-7535. Also, please visit our website at www.peoplefirstlawyers.com and see how we can assist you. And please, be sure to mention that you heard us on the Ralph Graves Jr. Show and ask for Jamie Jackson.
Facebook Live, what's going on? Thanks for checking us out. Share this with somebody. The story gets great.
What do you do every single day? What do you do on a daily basis?
I'll tell you what
you do run parallel with what you do. If not, that's okay.
It gets crazy.
Evaluate what you do on a daily basis. Make small changes. Set goals and make them happen. The make part is writing down what you do on a daily basis. Evaluate it and then making small changes on a day-to-day basis.
Somebody said stick to gardening.
Age, size, abilities.
Jasmine said, you want to be the
It's
girl?
about getting up off the ground when you're not.
Jasmine was
No, she was not.
This is a lifestyle. This is a way of life.
I can't believe that I sent Ken what I sent last night.
Coach Lee, 856-236-0810, www.xathletics.co, xathletics123@gmail.com, Coach Leaf _X on Instagram.
All right, everybody, we're back. Ralph Graves Jr. Morning Show, Ralph Graves Jr. Show, 888-329-3306. Give you a brief bio of who I am. My name is Pastor Ralph Graves. I pastor the Cornerstone Community Church in Millville, New Jersey. Been pastoring for 14 years. My wife and I planted it about 14 years ago, and we praise God for allowing us to be there so long. Pastor some wonderful people, some great people, and Recently, we've been having church out in the parking lot and all this other kind of stuff, but they've been hanging in there through this whole pandemic thing, and people are still getting saved. People are still coming to Christ, and so we praise God for that. So welcome to the show, everybody. I authored a book called Unstoppable. If you didn't get it, there it is right here. Let me show you. I got Unstoppable. There it is, Unstoppable. It's on Amazon.com, guys. It's on BarnesandNoble.com. It's 7 universal laws that will change the way and hopefully encourage you, change the way. It'll transform how you pursue and achieve success. So we're talking about today. I'm here with, you see my daughter, Kyra is here, Jason's here, Jamie's here. Jamie, let's talk about the flow of life. Would you agree that life has a flow, and how have you adapted to the flow? How did you get into the rhythm of your life? Just kind of share with us on those points.
I think life definitely has a flow to it, and the way I try to look at it is, the next day is coming, whether you're ready for it or not. The next 24 hours is coming.
It's coming.
You know what I'm saying? So, you can't, when things get rough, put your head in the sand. You got to face it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's going to keep flowing. So, let's go ahead and face it, and let's go with it and see where it takes you. I do want to just pause and take my hat off to you and Janae, because I'm not doing the canoeing thing. Because I know that river is rough.
Well, and let me
sometimes in life.
the river itself wasn't too rough. It's just that you really had 2 novices. Somebody on Facebook told me to stick to gardening, and that was my boy Maurice, and he was talking about he wanted some string beans. No, just because of that comment. How about that? No, plant your own to stick to gardening. So anyhow, so life has a flow. Hey, Jason, I know you know that life has a flow. When did you really discover and come to that conclusion? Like, okay, life is flowing, right? Or life has a flow. Have you realized that?
Well, it's probably like my early 20s, because up until then, I just kind of went with just my straight ahead approach and just kind of do what I wanted to do, and kind of like I didn't really get the full concept of all the winds and turns, kind of like a roller coaster, similar to a winding river. How deep certain points can be. All right, it can be like you said, during the river. All right, it could be 2 feet deep, 4 feet deep, 8 feet deep.
Yeah.
So it's I probably didn't realize it until I hit some really bad times, probably like 10, 12 years ago. So it's like up until then, it was just kind of, I'm like, all right, everything's on a straight straight ride. Yeah. But you hit those down points there. It's I probably realized it probably like a good decade plus ago.
Yeah. So here we are. We have 2 novices in the water. My daughter Jasmine just chimed in, and you wanted me to go. We have two. Yeah, Jazz, I wanted you to go. You know what, Jazz? We would have been in trouble. But we have 2 novices in the water, right? And the river's flowing. Now, what we didn't know going into it was that in this particular Batsto River that led us down to Batsto Lake or wherever we went, I don't know. Along the way, there were so many obstacles. Talk about the obstacles, Janae. Paint the picture of the obstacles we were facing in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And let me say this. No cell phone signal, but go ahead.
Yeah. Well, before we actually, okay, the just actual obstacles or
the
just
obstacles in the river.
Water. Okay. They were everywhere. Like, it would be like a wide passage, but there would be something huge dead in the middle. So you had to maneuver just like a whole tree, not a branch, like a whole tree is in this lake thing, this river. And then we had to go to like extreme left or right to get through.
And I don't know how to steer. I don't know how to steer. I don't know what I'm doing.
We don't know how to steer. So the river is carrying us toward the thing, and we're out loud saying, okay, how do we navigate this?
She's in the front. She doesn't see me at all. She can't turn around because if you turn around in a canoe, it's very unstable. So she's like, Dad, I'm trying to go right. And I'm trying to steer and give some power at the same time. Obstacles were everywhere.
Down, side.
It wasn't a straight river at all. It was, as soon as you turn sharp left, you got to come back sharp right. You're going, it is zigzagging. You got logs with turtles, so it's crazy. And it was bushes, and so we ran into the bank a lot.
Ran into
Jamie,
sticks.
A lot.
Like,
We not just sticks. Can you guys, Jason,
Like
imagine full branches, still alive, digging into my neck as I try to pass through this thing. You're talking about obstacles, but guess what was flowing? The river was still flowing. Life was still moving. We are getting turned around. I'm telling you, and that's another part of it. But let me, the obstacles. I'm going to talk about setbacks and U-turns in my next segment. The obstacles were enough to discourage you. And this is right out the back.
This is the beginning. This isn't even the first mile. This is like the first 10 feet.
Yeah. And we have to go 6 miles. And you're not going fast in a canoe.
No.
What made you go canoeing?
I don't know. That's probably a good question. That probably should be the Twitter poll. What made Pastor Graves go canoeing? What made me go out of my element?
It was quarantine. Right. That's what made you go.
Thank you. It was quarantine.
It was, I haven't been anywhere for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Sure, I'll go canoeing.
Yeah. So we're out there, and I'm telling y'all, we are in the middle of Wharton State Forest, middle of nowhere. Trying to get back to Batstow Lake, eventually try to get back to Atzion Lake, somewhere in Chemung Township, if you're familiar with Jersey. We're in the middle of nowhere. The guy drops us off. What does he say, Janae, when he drops us off?
I don't even remember.
He says you are officially as far away from civilization that you could be. That's what he says to us when we drop this stinking thing in the water. Text me when you get to mile marker 11 and I'll pick you up. Obstacles. Life is full of them. Life is full of obstacles. It was branches in the water. We had all kinds of, and thank you, Gina Clay Williams says on Facebook, life will come at your neck sometime. And it sure enough came at my neck. It came at my neck. Let me tell you something. In my head, by the time I got home, right? You ever get home and like you get in the shower and you discover scratches and scrapes you didn't know you had, where the water's stinging you? I'm soaping up like, oh my God, I didn't know I was cut there, and so it was crazy. Greg Kamen says, put that par in the water off your backside and use it like a rudder. I don't know what you're talking about. Or. Thank you. You must have been typing fast. Greg, I was trying. Where were you, Greg? You were nowhere to be found. I would have called Greg. Greg, you want to go canoeing? No, man, I got a birthday party to go to. You weren't there, so Greg, you have no need to comment. That's Grocko's brother, Greg Cave. Love him like a brother. Man. He gonna give me advice after I was stuck in the woods. So anyway, Jasmine says, yeah, I would stay right there with him too after that statement. So life has obstacles. How do you guys handle the obstacles? Now, again, the river never stops flowing. It's good and it's bad. It's good and it's bad. It kept flowing. It kept flowing. We all we do is follow. How do you guys handle obstacles? Kaya, talk to me about the obstacles and how do you handle obstacles in life?
Well, you kind of just do what you got to do to get through them.
That's exactly what we did. We did what we had to do to get through them. We did what we had to do. I'm breaking branches off, right? I'm breaking branches.
Boats full of sticks and leaves.
I'm going to tell y'all something right now, right? Obstacles. Not only obstacles. We're going, right? This is a great part of the story. Don't tune out right now. We're going down the river, right? Going down the thing. Janae doesn't see it. Naturally, we're floating over into another bank again. Bumping into stuff. As she goes under this one branch, a canoe is long. She's in the front. I'm in the back. I begin to go under the branch, and what do I see hanging down to the branch, from the branch, about to drop into the canoe? A snake, a black snake is hanging down off of the branch, right over top of my daughter's bag. Now, normally, inside, I'm a man's man, but inside, I was screaming like a 10-year-old little girl. I was screaming, but I couldn't panic because my child would have panicked. Right? She said, Dad, what are you screaming for? The black snake was coming down, and I said, this is just like life. I was flowing, obstacles, and here comes some snakes. A snake tried to drop it. I whacked it with the oar. I whacked it with the oar. I knocked it. I just hit it hard as I could. And I think, Janae, you didn't hear me say, you got to be kidding
I really
me.
didn't. I really don't remember this part.
Y'all would be proud. Pastor didn't cuss. It didn't cuss. See, I'm growing in Christ.
I wasn't there.
I'm growing in Christ. I didn't cuss. It wasn't in there. And I said, you've got to be kidding me. Now, 10 years ago, I might have said something else. But I said, you got to be kidding me. And I whacked it with the oar. But a black snake.
I would have passed.
Was it big?
It was big. Yeah, as
Like
far as I'm concerned,
it
it was
doesn't
12
even
feet
matter.
long. As far as I'm
I
concerned, it was an
did not see
anaconda.
it. I did not see it at all. I don't know how I missed it.
As far as I'm concerned, it was a python. It was. I watched too much Discovery Channel. You know how stuff looks bigger than actually it is when it's coming after you. It might have been 2 inches. I don't know how big it was. Of course, I get back to they pick us up and I tell the guy, snake, oh, that's just a black racer. I'm like, man,
Well,
you know what?
you had to describe it first.
Yeah. So obstacles, life is flowing. Obstacles come, and snakes will appear. Obstacles come in life while it's flowing, and snakes will appear. Now, I could allow that snake to do some damage in my life, but I didn't. Some of y'all got some snakes. Ken Dominic said, I'm glad you didn't cuss, Reverend. I didn't. My daughter really saw the fullness of her father growing in Christ at that moment. She really saw it and heard it. She can testify, my daddy must love the Lord. I didn't hear any filth come out of his mouth. But in life, there's going to be obstacles and there's going to be snakes. Life is still going to flow, but it's still going to be snakes and it's still going to be obstacles. Now, what you do? Now, what if I allowed that snake to invade my little canoe? What if I allowed that? That would have been a whole nother issue. Some of you have allowed some snakes. Preach, Reverend. Go, y'all can say it. Some of y'all have allowed some snakes to invade you along this journey. It will affect your journey. So do what you got to do and get the snakes out.
Oh, you know what I just noticed?
What you
I just realized it wasn't so much also about like the stuff that was like around, but you had to stay focused on what you were trying to do. Like,
thank you.
Like I didn't see the snake, but the boat had like spiders in it because I guess the canoes have been like,
right
up. So there were like spiders in the boat. And then like we were bumping into stuff and there were like ants and bugs falling and everything falling in and like I could see them. And I was just like, I can't freak out about that because we have something to do. Yeah. So it was like stuff was like very disgusting and like disturbing me. But I was like, you have to stay calm because if you freak out, the boat's going to tip. Then, it's affected now other people.
So we weren't even
something small.
It just wasn't snakes. It was spiders. She's absolutely right. Spiders crawling all around up on my leg.
Ants.
Ants. I could deal with
like
spiders and snakes and, turtles looking at us, chuckling and laughing. Yeah. But she's right. If you don't stay focused on the task at hand, you're never going to get to the destination. Anybody got any words about focus? Come on, encourage the listeners. Talk about focus. Talk about how important focus is. Talk to me, Jamie. What do you think about focus?
I think it's so important because, at that, like I think about that snake, I'm definitely afraid of snakes. So, if I saw that, it may have paralyzed me.
Right.
But at some point, that survival mode kicked in and it's like, okay, I have to keep moving. Like Janae said, I have a goal. I got to get down this river to the checkpoint. I cannot stay right here at this branch. I can't stay right here with the snake. I can't stay right here in the 8 feet deep. Whatever the obstacle is, I have to maneuver around it because I don't want to be stuck right here. Right. And I think that sometimes in life, when you focus on whatever that obstacle is, and lose focus of where you're trying to go and, your destination, ahead, then you get stuck. And that's the worst, because the obstacle itself is bad, but what's worse is being stuck with it day in and day out and not moving around it, and you guys in that moment, like you didn't have an opportunity to get stuck.
No.
You guys are flowing with the river. You got to keep flowing with the river. You got to keep flowing.
And it wouldn't have done us any good for us to spaz out.
Right.
Nope.
You guys have to understand, it was nobody. on that river. 3 of us got in, but you because of different levels of skill levels, people at different parts of the river. But at that time, nobody's around us. Guys, I'm telling you, there's no roads, there's no nothing. And they tell us, Janae? About 4 miles down, you hit a beach.
Yeah, it wasn't 4 miles. Was it 4 miles?
I don't know. Gina Clay Williams, she tunes in on my, I can see her on Facebook Live. Hey, share this as a watch party and talk to your friends. She says, don't focus on the naysayers watching your struggle, like turtles and things like that. Focus on the goal. That's just what we had, right? And the turtles represent, you snorting in the mic. The turtles represented naysayers who were no help.
They weren't.
Just watching.
That would have been me.
Turtles are just sitting there watching, like, I see you struggling. There were no help. No help. There, from what I understand, they were snapping turtles, pink turtles, box turtles, something called, what's the other turtle? Stink turtle, he called it?
He did call it a stink turtle.
Something like that.
Yeah, there's like something in their mouth.
Yeah.
Like they just have bad breath.
Yeah, but they were just watching. Maurice Waters says, in life you face obstacles. And you have to be realistic, stay positive, don't break down, and don't become overwhelmed. And it was so crystal clear in that moment, being out in the woods by myself with my child. And I'm so glad I didn't bring my grandbabies. I'll tell you that. We would have still been there. Y'all guys would have called state police and they would have had to find us somewhere if my phone would have worked at the time. So obstacles. We had to deal with obstacles. Now, you know what? Let me take a break. I'm sorry for that pause because we got a couple more things to do. I want to take a break and then we'll come back with the verse of the day. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. The trip is not over yet. The trip is not over. We dealt with snakes. We dealt with turtles and bugs. We talked about the river represents life. It flows. You have obstacles. And we're going to come back and we'll talk about something else. We'll get through this. My name is Pastor Ralph Graves Jr. This is the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. You're listening on WWDBAM.com. Let me give the call letters. Call in, or the number. Call in at 888-329-3306. Just tell us that you're enjoying the program. But share it with somebody on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you got to do. We will be right back after these messages.
Snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Good morning. My name is Jamie Jackson, and I'm one of the attorneys with Codler, Hernandez, and Co., where we put people first. We're a full-service law firm that specializes in personal injury, workers' compensation, nursing home abuse, medical malpractice, real estate, and literally no help like the Should you ever need legal assistance, please do not hesitate to contact us. We can be contacted toll-free at 1-877-866-7535. Once again, that's 1-877-866-7535. Also, please visit our website at www.peoplefirstlawyers.com and see how we can assist you.
Welcome.
And please, be sure to mention that you heard us on the Ralph Graves Jr. Show.
Like
ask
and
for
subscribe.
Jamie Jackson.
Got great stuff going on.
Set goals. Make them happen. What do you do every single day? What do you do on a daily basis? And does what you do run parallel with what your goals are? If not, that's okay. Evaluate what you do on a daily basis. Make small changes. Set goals and make them happen. The make part is writing down what you do on a daily basis. Evaluate them.
Coming right back with
Making
Janae.
small changes on a day-to-day basis.
Coming back with Janae Graves, verse of the day.
Size.
Talking about
Abilities.
the winding river of life. Follow me
It's about getting
on
up off the ground when you're 9 years old. Functional fitness. This is a
follow me on
lifestyle.
Twitter, guys.
This is a way of life.
Subscribe to my
This
Truth
is a
Boost.
decision, a
Text
conscious
C3E
decision
to the number
for yourself.
313131. Get Truth Boost.
856-236-0810. www.xathletics.co. xathletics123@gmail.com. Coach Leaf _X on Instagram.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. Now it's time for the verse of the day. Life is a sea of change, but you know what you can bet on being as solid as a rock and unchanging? God. Deuteronomy 31:6 is a powerful reminder that says, "Be strong and of good courage. Fear not, nor be afraid of them, for the Lord thy God, he it is that doth go with thee. He will not fail thee nor forsake thee. So keep going, just keep swimming. That was your verse of the day. I'm Janae Graves, and this is the Ralph Graves Jr. Show.
Well, thank you for that, Janae. Thank you so much. So that encouragement, keep going, keep swimming, child of God, believer. You guys know I'm a born-again Christian. I do not hide that. Pastor church or Christian church. I believe in the Jesus Christ of the Bible. He says this. He says, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. If you do not have a relationship with Jesus Christ, he is welcoming you into one with him right now. And as you grow, as you intentionally grow in Christ, your life will change. So we're talking about this winding river of life, right? Talking about this winding river of life. All right, so we dealt with obstacles. We dealt with life flows. Now, setbacks and U-turns. That's next. We did so many K-turns. It was we ran aground so many times.
We got good at turning around.
Yes, that's what we did get good at. There were times we were going backwards, but life was still flowing, right? I'm all of a sudden I'm in the front, and we're going backwards, right? And life is still flowing. We got perfect at K-turns. We got real good at U-turns. And sometimes in life, that's what's going to happen. Life is going to flow. You're going to find yourself headed in a direction that you didn't want to go. It's okay to make the U-turn. It's okay to turn around. It's okay to do a K-turn. It's okay to readjust and align yourself with the flow of where your life and your destiny is trying to take you. Life is full of U-turns and setbacks and K-turns and it hurts sometimes and sometimes things don't work out and you're going to be, but you know what kept flowing? The river. No matter how many, it did not stop flowing because my daughter and I had to make a U-turn. It did not stop flowing because we had to turn around. It kept on flowing. It kept on flowing. It never stopped flowing. So guys, when you have setbacks, it's okay. I got to turn this thing around. I have a rule that I really try to practice, that I don't let things bother me more than 24 hours, whether it's a win or a loss. Now that's difficult sometimes. It's difficult. But you should have some sort of guardrail because it's still going to flow. You still got to work within your calling. God has still created you to be, you're one of a kind. You're one of a kind. And so what you're doing, be great at it. I mean, if you're like me, I retired from one career and jumped full-fledged into another. As long as you have breath in your bones, life is still flowing. God is still creating. You are still God's crowning achievement. God's crowning masterpiece is the human race. And so God still placed inside of you, he placed inside of you something special, something that only you can deliver. Now, what if I quit doing a U-turn? What if I quit? Trust me, my daughter will tell you, there were times where we wanted to say, I need to get out of here. Call the police, state police. They'll come get us. But we never said it out loud, did we?
No, no.
Talk about that. She was thinking it. I was thinking it. But we never said it out loud.
Early.
Right.
I was thinking it early. I am not an outdoor person. So, early. I think the first branch, the first bank we ran into, I was like, I want to get off of this boat. Before we even got to the beach, which, again, was less than, 4 miles away, when we got to the beach, I wanted to not get back on the boat. I was just like, I'm done now. This was nice. This was cute.
And when we say beach, please don't think of beach.
Yeah, just a dry land patch.
Yeah, think of that. That's what you think of. Think of a dry land patch. And we sat up there and ate sandwiches. And
and I was.
How much further do we have to go?
And that was after the tip. That was after.
Let me get to that.
Well, it already happened in my story.
So check this out, guys. We're going down. You're gonna love this. We're in the creek going down. We come across this branch now, right? Normally, I could move the branch, Greg Caven, if you're listening, I'm strong enough to move the branch out of the way, right? I don't lift all them weights for nothing. Strong enough to move branches and logs out the way, He-Man. She went past it.
I don't even know what branch took you out.
Went to move this branch with all my might. This sucker was not moving. Sucker said, brother, you have met your match. And I'm like, Janae, stop. And I'm trying to bench press. And she can't stop. Why? Because the river is flowing. So she can't stop. I have my hands on this bench like I'm on the bench press bar. And I'm trying to stop it. It's not stopping. I'm leaning back further and further and further. And you ever see those videos where you say, and this is where he knew he screwed up right now? There came a point where I knew I was going in the water. All of a sudden, the life jacket came up on my neck and my chest.
I'm screaming.
Janae is like, Dad,
I'm like, what are you doing? It's like rocking.
It's rocking. All you hear is splash. I lose my hat. I'm drinking creek water.
Ew.
Your boy went under. I went under. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't afraid because I can swim, but I went under. I didn't know how deep it was at the time. I didn't know if my daughter, she had a life jacket on. She's not a strong swimmer though, but she had a life jacket on.
Swim? What?
Can I tell my story? So I went under. I see nothing but cedar water. I hear, Dad, what are you doing? I went under. I come back up. The canoe is completely flipped.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah.
Oh, no. And I'm like standing in the water. Like, what happened?
She's standing. Now, because, again, it's shallow. It can be shallow 12 inches away from where I'm floating. I'm floating. She's standing. The canoe is completely upside down.
My bag is
Her
wet.
bag is wet.
The Yeti floats. But
Now my bag, shout out to Yeti. I will shout out to Yeti. Your boy got a Yeti bag. My Yeti bag floats. It's a flotation device. Beautiful thing. I lost my hat. I lost all of this. I lost everything, right? So the canoe's upside down, soaking wet. My boy who talks me into going out there, he's with his girl. They had tipped first, right? Somehow we catch up to him and we're talking to him. They happen to hear us tip. I mean, you can't miss it. It's silent. It's silent out there. So all you hear, people screaming. He turns around. Matter of fact, he's a deacon in my church. So I guess he probably thought he should turn around and come get me. So he turns around, right? Happens to be a log in the water. We flip over the canoe. Now, as we flip it over, the canoe is filled with about 40 pounds of water. As we flip it over, because it's going to scoop up water. So the canoe is filled with water, right? Janae finds a log that's under the water. I didn't even see it. She's stepping up. Now, if you've ever stood in the creek, you're thinking about snapping turtles. I'm thinking about the snake I just saw.
I'm thinking about bugs.
I'm thinking about, even though they're not up here, I'm thinking about anaconda with iced tea or ice cube. I'm thinking about all those Discovery stuff, all the YouTube channels I watch with anacondas or with pythons invading Florida. I'm thinking they up here in Jersey. Heart racing a little bit. I ain't gonna lie, but you passed it, ladies and gentlemen. I was still cool. Janae gets in the boat, right? Bags floating everywhere. I lose my hat. Philly's hat's gone. My deacon says, Rev, get your hat. I said, man, forget that hat. I'm not going back to get that hat. Hat's gone. Bags are floating.
I'm gonna get out the water.
I drink creek water, so I'm automatically thinking bacteria.
Parasites.
I'm automatically thinking parasites. And then my buddy's girlfriend said, oh, I'm not too afraid of the creek, but I was thinking about leeches. Immediately I said to myself, I hope I didn't swallow a leech. Yeah. So, but guess what, y'all? Guess what? The river
Kept going.
kept flowing. River didn't care that I sank. River didn't care I drank it. River didn't say, oh, you're going to be all right, Pastor. You're going to be. It kept flowing. It's just like life. I had a decision to make. We flipped the canoe back over. We got back.
Which, shout out to me, because I'm strong. No, like.
You are. state champ.
I'm like
You are.
physically very strong. And I was like, I could do this. I was like, I could flip this boat over.
Yeah. So
Continue.
we flip it over. Now, we flip it over. Are you on the log, standing on the log,
Yeah.
trying to flip it over?
No. I was in the water to flip it over.
Yeah.
I just stood on the log to get into it.
Flip it over. I get on the log. Shout out to me for taking yoga. I was able to put my foot places I couldn't do a couple weeks ago. Shout out for yoga. So,
Oh my.
yeah, right? So I was able to get up on the log. And so meanwhile, again, let me go back to this because we are running out of time, man. I'm going to have to finish this next week. I want to finish it now. We got about 15 minutes. The river keeps flowing. I'm soaking wet. I done drank creek water. All right. I have now said to myself, my daughter no longer thinks I'm a hero. I'm out here with Dad. He sunk me. So you think you left
Took me down.
You let your kid down?
She's like that.
You know? That brings me that brings me to my next point. What you say, Jamie?
I said just in time for Father's Day.
Right in time for Father's Day. Right in time for Father's Day. Meanwhile, I'm saying to myself, too, if I go back home without one of my wife's children, I will never, life will never be the same. So anyway, brings me to the next point real quick. Your travel partner matters as you're going through life. I'm so glad I was out here with Janae. Your travel partner matters. Who you roll with in life, your circle matters. My buddy, my deacon that was out there with me, it matters that he and his friend were out there with me. Who you travel with matters. Can you imagine if I was by myself and flipped it? Again,
You've been walking the rest of the way.
walking where?
You haven't just
In a circle.
is just swimming down the
I
stream.
guess I would try to follow the stream. I don't know. But who you travel with matters. If I was with the wrong people when tragedy struck, my life would have changed. Don't know who I'm talking to. You need to check your circle around you. You need to make sure you're around some. Janae said her strength came in handy. My buddy Joe, his knowledge came in handy, right? Matter of fact, I think his friend, his girlfriend was more knowledgeable than all of us. So it matters who you are around in this journey of life. You cannot do it by yourself. Your travel partner matters. Glad it wasn't my grandson's, right? My glad it wasn't my grandson. He couldn't help me. My one grandson probably would have thought it was fun. The 9-year-old or 10, how old is he? I don't know how old he is. 9 or 10. He would have thought it was fun. Papa, we're having fun. No, Papa's lost. So anyway, your travel partners matter. Brings me to my next point. I got to hurry because we got about 10 minutes left. Along the way, there were people. Along the way. We were out there. The river kept flowing. The river represents life, right? Life flows, obstacles, setbacks, U-turns. Your travel partners matters. But along the way, there were people further along than us that and I couldn't be dismissive with them. They were in kayaks.
Going upstream. I'm going downstream in a canoe. Struggling.
They're in kayaks coming upstream.
Having a good time.
Great. Having a Saturday out with the family. Hey, having a good time, everybody. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. People actually do this for fun. But they were encouraging. And Janae and I were not dismissive when it came to listening to their advice. Talk about the one lady, Janae. We were stuck. Now, listen. Let me tell you this. We were stuck under a branch, Jason. Not just on land. The canoe had gotten wedged under a branch that was sticking out over the water. Tell the rest of the story, Janae, how this lady helped us. We couldn't be dismissive.
Yeah, she was going upstream, but she was in front of us, and like she was just coming up, and then she just stopped and offered advice. She's like, oh, okay, so what you want to do is when you get in this position is start, and then she told us what to do. I guess it was like paddle backwards, and she unstuck us in like 30 seconds, and we had been stuck there for like 3 minutes.
Yeah. And we were stuck there for a minute. But here's the point. You can't be dismissive when people offer you sound advice. What if my pride kicked in, Jason?
We don't need no help.
What if I'm grown? You know how we do. You know how you listeners do. I'm grown. Can't nobody tell me nothing. What if I was dismissive? Still been stuck. She's a stranger. She's experienced. She offered some advice that we did not know. In this journey of life, do not be dismissive when people who are, now mind you, well, watch this. We were in the same place. We were going to the same destination. All right. We were going along together. I wasn't listening to somebody who wasn't going the same direction or the same place as we were going. So she's going in the same place, same direction we're going. So if you come across some people who have the same values, the same goals, are moving in the same direction that you're going in, you may not even know them all that well. But if you share those same values, do not be dismissive when they give you some advice, because it will help unstick you if you get stuck. Does that make sense, everybody? Does that make sense? Am I making it? Okay. All right. Next. Persevere. Right? Got 9 minutes left. We had to persevere. Like Janae said, guys, there were moments inside of our heads. And even her daddy was saying, okay, this is a wrap. I'm done. How to get out of here. But we never said it out loud. We knew that if we just kept following the flow, we would eventually get to a lake that opened wide open, and rowing and steering and whatever we were doing was much easier. But we had to persevere. Did we feel like quitting? Yeah. Absolutely. I ain't gonna lie. If I could have reached my phone without tipping the canoe over again, I would have checked for signal. Shout out to OtterBox and Samsung. Phone went up there.
Samsung, period.
And still worked.
I don't have an OtterBox, but my phone is fine.
Janae, right, tried to be slick. My phone's in the car. As soon as she said that, she got a text message. They're like, no, your phone's in that bag.
I totally thought that I left it in the car.
And so, but we kept persevering. We kept persevering through all of these things, through snakes and tragedy and being dumped and drinking creek water and K-turns and U-turns and being stuck and listening to people and not being dismissive, but really listening to people who are further along in their journey than we were. We have to persevere. So we're persevering, getting going, and we get some people, right? And y'all see me rowing. That's that noise you hear me rowing. So we're rowing, right? And we're getting close to them. Found some more kayak people. They said, listen, man, guys, it's gonna be okay. It's going to open up after a while. Got about a mile to go. Got about a mile and a half to go. At this time, my body, I'm soaking wet. My body's hurting. I got scratches. I got bug bites. Another thing, skin so soft don't work in the creek. I got bug bites. I got spider bites. At this point, I know there's probably ticks on me, right? We survived snakes. We're persevering. Right? And so we get to the lake and it opens up. And I tell you, we are grateful. I don't know how Janae felt, but I felt grateful. I was tired. It's supposed to be a 4-hour trip.
Yeah. I don't know how long we were out there.
We easily did it in 5.5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, we did 5.5. We did 5.5. We probably owe them some money. We probably kept their canoes out longer than but we're tired, but we persevere. And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know what you're going through in life right now. You're going to get tired. You're going to feel like quitting. It's going to open up. And when it opens up, you just continue to persevere. It never stopped flowing. We got to where we were getting to with scratches, with scrapes. We had been turned around. We had been wet. We had wildlife had threatened us. We had to stop twice to get water out of the boat, but we got to where we were supposed to get to through perseverance. And when we got there, guess what? The trip didn't seem all that bad. We were grateful. So somebody's in school now. Somebody is struggling through a job. Somebody might be having some minor marital issues, and somebody might just be down and depressed. You keep striving. Keep being the person that God designed you to be. And listen to these things along the way. Listen to some folks along the way. Don't be so high-minded and prideful like you got it all figured out, because none of us do. And when you get to where you were trying to get to, when you get to the end, when you persevere, be grateful. Be grateful, and then help somebody along the way. I hope that helped somebody. How was that today? Was it all right? You guys enjoy the canoe story? If you did,
I really enjoyed it.
My Twitter poll,
Everyone did.
put the Twitter poll back up. The Twitter poll was, would you ever go canoeing? So I say, absolutely. Why not? I have. I tried it. But that's the Twitter poll today. Guys, if you want to get my truth boost, and I'm sorry, I should have gave this to my producer. Text C3E to the number 313131. And at 9 o'clock every day, you'll get a truth boost from me. Just something to encourage you while you're on this river of life that never stops flowing. It never stops flowing. We had some fun. We had some fun talking about our little weekend this past weekend. I hope it helped. Kaya, did it help you?
Yes.
You know, Jason, did you find it entertaining?
Oh, mostly entertaining. Most entertaining I've heard in a while.
It's good to see you on the line, Lauren. And I really hope it blessed somebody. And, you know, I face everything with the lesson, and I hope you do too. So, guys, keep on pressing on. Keep on persevering. Don't you throw in the towel. Don't you quit. Avoid the snakes and the bugs. And if the turtles laugh, just keep focused and keep on going. Make sure you have the right partners. Make sure that you are rolling with the right people at all times. And guys, we will get there together. Guys, I got a book called Unstoppable. If you haven't, pick up your copy today. Pick up your copy. It's on Amazon.com. It's on BarnesandNoble.com. It's at RalphGravesJr.com. Guys, I'm also putting together a mastermind called the Gulfstream Way with my buddy, very good friend of mine, friend of the show, Milton Corsi. And I would love for you guys to be a part of that. Email me if you guys want to be a part of the Gulfstream Way. We're talking about keeping our mindset right as we go through this life together. Guys, a lot of stuff going on in the world today. Stand for what you're going to stand for. Don't let things bother you. Don't let things knock you off track. Be right, serve, do right, be good to people. If you don't know Jesus Christ as your personal Savior, get to know him. Hey, listen, I'm a pastor of a church. Call your pastor. And some of y'all I ain't hear from in a while. Call your pastor. Say hi to him. All right, he gets lonely sometimes. So give him a shout. Say, Pastor, I'm praying for you. But guys, thank you for listening to the Ralph Graves Jr. Show. You guys are the heroes of the show. You guys are awesome. Jamie Jackson, say something, some final words.
I really enjoyed you guys sharing that. And I will say this, I will never go canoeing. I appreciate the wisdom that you guys have given me to know that it is way above my pay grade. I am not doing it.
Kaya, final words.
Yeah, I'm definitely with Jamie. Enjoy the story. I would never go canoeing.
Janae, final words for everybody.
I don't know. Have a good day.
Jason.
Continue to navigate through this river called life.
That's right. Guys, God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you so much. This is Ralph Graves Jr. I'll see you again next week. Thank you, Facebook Live. Thank you for sharing. Goodbye, everybody. Wait, goodbye, Kaya. She came and said, bye. Jamie, thank you. Love you.
Bye, everyone. Thanks
bye, everybody. Ken Dominic, thanks for producing.
Do I just leave?